Games Workshop has finally given us information about the next army that's going to be released for Warhammer 40,000. It is the Chaos Knights, and I'm super excited for all of you Chaos Knight enjoyers out there, because while the index detachment has done really well and it's been super cool basically throughout 10th, that thing has gotten stale. You've had one, maybe two options, and the Grotmus detachment, while fun, kind of missed the mark a little bit. So we have 4 brand new options that are coming up in Codex Chaos Knights, and Games Workshop gave us a lot of really spicy information that we're going to talk about right now. So the new Codex contains 4 detachments, and some of those detachments, you've got the Traitorous Lance and you've got the Infernal Lance, and they'll allow you to, say, like, buff some of your knights at a price. I would assume that means that they're going to be taking, say, mortal wounds or whatever. Both these detachments are going to work great when you're doing large knights and war dogs. But there are 2 detachments that are one that is made specifically for only big knights, and one that is specifically made for only little knights. So that is very cool. Like the 13 dogs meta that we've been seeing for the last, 2 years, that's going to be its own detachment. That's going to really support that play. And they're going to have a style of play that supports just big knights, which I cannot wait to see some big Chaos Knights on the table. So the first one they have is the Lords of Dread. And this is going to be their Titanic and Questoris pattern Knights detachment. So they do go ahead and reveal a little bit of information for us. So they give us the detachment rule here, which is called the Tyrannical Court. Improve the OC characteristic of Chaos Knights character models from your army by 2. In addition, once per battle round, if your warlord is on the battlefield, you can use the claim for the Dark God stratagem for 0 CP. Now, this might not sound super exciting initially. You'd be like, oh, well, Chaos Knights already have a huge OC. What's it going to do to give them an extra 2? That's a bad detachment rule. But check out this freaking stratagem, claim for the Dark Gods. Start of any phase, 1 Chaos Knights character unit from your army that is within range of 1 or more objective markers you control. Select one of those objective markers, and that objective marker remains under your control with a level of control of 5. This is a sticky objective that counts as always having a control of 5. So if you were to put a 1 OC character on this objective, it's still sticky for the Chaos Knights player. This is crazy, and we have not seen this in the game at all. This is a brand new mechanic that we're seeing in the game, and that is incredibly powerful. Cranked, some might say. It's very, very exciting. That's just pretty freaking awesome. The article goes on to say that all of the stratagems in this detachment are geared towards your character units, and they're going to come with more enhancements than usual. They're actually going to have 6 enhancements in this detachment. All of them bring a passive bonus as well. So they're going to give us 2 of the enhancements that you can use in this detachment. The first will be the Warp-born Stalker enhancement, and it says Chaos Knights model only. The bearer will have the Deep Strike ability, and in addition, once per battle at the end of your opponent's turn, if the bearer is not within engagement range, you can remove it from the battlefield, put it in reserves. So 1 big knight can get uppy downy. That is strong. That can be used for rapid ingresses. That can be used for all sorts of things. That is very, very powerful for getting these big knights into the positions where it can be really hard to get them sometimes. And then the other enhancement that they're demoing for us is the Blessings of the Dark Master. So this is going to be for Chaos Knights on only. The bearer will have stealth, straight up -1 to hit on one of those Chaos Knights. That's powerful. That's good. And then once per battle, after you make a saving throw for the bearer, you can change the damage of the attack to 0. So that Tyrannifex gets lucky and gets through your invulnerable save. Nah, never mind, Tyrannifex, you didn't actually hit me. Very strong enhancement. Very usable. I actually like this a lot. So they're going to have a detachment straight up for the big knights. They're also going to have a detachment for the little knights. So let's read on just a little bit, okay? They actually gave us another stratagem for the big knights to go through real quick. So this is called Crushed Like Vermin. This is another stratagem for the big knights detachment. Lords of Dread. When your movement phase just after a Chaos Knights character unit from your army ends a normal move, you target that Chaos Knights character unit, select 1 enemy unit, excluding monsters and vehicles, that you moved over during the move, and roll 6d6. For each 4-up, they take a mortal wound, and if a model is destroyed as a result, they have to take a battle shock test. So this is going to generally be stacking with the super heavy walker rule, which I assume is coming back, which will allow your big knights to ignore terrain that is 4 inches and less and ignore enemy models for your movement purposes. Of course, you still have to end your move outside of engagement range. It also allows them to walk through walls that are higher than 4, but they can get battle shock. So I assume that rule is going to be transported into the Chaos Knights Codex as well, because you would have to be able to move over an enemy unit in order to do this. So that is a very cool stratagem, especially when that's going to stack with the battle shock mechanisms and the leadership modifiers that we know is going to be inherent to Chaos Knights as well. So very, very interesting and very, very cool. Now, the second detachment that they're giving us information about right now is going to be the Whoops All Dogs detachment. So no big boys, just the little knights. And this is going to be called the Hound Pack Lance, and it's going to allow you to ignore the big guys entirely. Now, as War Dog units don't normally have the character keyword, this detachment is going to let you choose 3 War Dogs to get the character keyword, which will allow you to put enhancements on them and make them your warlord. Very, very cool and interesting concept. So, detachment rule is going to be Marked Prey. And this is for the Hound Pack Lance. At the start of your command phase, select 1 unit from your opponent's army, and until the start of your next command phase, each time a War Dog model from your army makes an attack that targets that enemy unit, if the unit is visible to the attacking model, the attack has sustained hits 1. Boom. On demand, your army gets sustained hits 1. Very cool. Very interesting, very exciting, strong ability. It's kind of like an Oath of Moment style ability, or is what it sounds like. That's actually really, really sweet. So just a few other things that they put on this card here. Your army must include minimum 3 War Dogs, and War Dog units will have the battle line keyword. That's interesting. That means that does make it seem, at least, like War Dogs for the rest of the Codex won't have battle line. I don't know if that's going to be 100% true, but that's what it seems like from reading this. And when mustering your army, you get to select 3 War Dog units and give them the character keyword. Very, very cool. They are saying that you're going to have about 13 War Dogs, which means your War Dogs are going to be probably costed approximately the same as what they currently are, because 13 is about how much you can fit into an army as it currently rests as well. So one enhancement they give us for this detachment is the Prey Slayer's Mantle, which can go only on a War Dog mantle, so you can't even put this on a big guy even if you wanted to. And it says the bearer has the super heavy walker keyword ability, which there it is, just like I just explained. It does, so it appears that they will have the super heavy walker ability still in the Codex, which is good because honestly, that's just a good thing to have for the big knights. And then you can put that on a War Dog, which is cool, allowing them to basically just walk through walls in the movement phase on demand, which is pretty dope. Of course, if you roll a 1, you will get battle shocked. And then the stratagem they give us is Hungry for Combat. Start of the fight phase, you get to select 2 or more War Dog units from your army within engagement range of the same enemy unit. So this is more generated this is of course generated towards melee, and it's going to be focusing on the same unit. Select 1 enemy unit within engagement range of those War Dog units, and until the end of the phase, models in the War Dogs units can only target that enemy unit. So if you use this, you have to target this unit. And oh my goodness, unmodified hit rolls of 5 up will score critical hits. This is actually very, very strong, especially stacked with the detachment rule of giving sustained hits. So you can give your carnivores, for example, sustained hits on 5s, basically saying Death Star units go bye-bye, bye, bye-bye, have a great day. So this is actually really, really cool. It doesn't really say too much else, but we did get the reveal of the battle force, which is going to be 7 dogs. This is actually very cool. Lots of information that Games Workshop has provided us for 2 of the detachments of the 4 detachments that are going to be in Codex Chaos Knights. And I'm actually really freaking pumped. I think this looks super, super cool. I know a lot of friends that I have, and actually a couple of the clients that I have are Chaos Knights players. So we're going to be diving deep into this one. Looking forward for more information. Hope you guys are having a great freaking day. Crump on, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.